And we're back. Well, sort of. Everyone, is your host Ryan, and you may be wondering, where's this week's episode? Well, unfortunately, due to some personal scheduling conflicts, I was unable to actually record one for this week. I apologize for that. But I wanted to give you guys something to hold you over, right? Something to listen to for this week before we pick it back up. So this week, I'm actually going to feature one of the latest episodes from another podcast I do called Toast Talk. Toast Talk is a podcast I've been doing with my really good buddy Will for about, almost 4 years now. Wherever so often we get together, we have a few drinks of whatever we can get our hands on, and we talk about general topics, mostly around, nerd culture and things we get into, things we watch, read, and so on. So after this week, we'll get back to your regular scheduled programming. And when we get back, we'll talk about, play-ins, which we missed this week. And then we'll talk about the beginning of the playoffs, which are currently going on. So as always, thanks for listening. And I hope you enjoy this feature of Toast Talk episode 90.
Honestly, I think Disney should just sack up and just buy Sony.
Yeah, where does SpiderMan and America begin?
Yeah, what's next for him?
Yeah, where do we go from here as a society?
What? Why are you saying that?
I was born at a very young age.
What? Welcome to this episode of Toast Talk. I'm your host Wilson. Across the table from me,
Jefferson Twilight.
Jefferson Twilight is here.
I'm a Blackula hunter.
Blackula hunter.
Only hunt Blackulas.
Only hunts Blackulas.
This is Venture Brothers reference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the fuck you were talking about. I was just going to repeat everything you said. So, we're back, man. We're back, baby.
We're back, baby.
It's been over a month, right?
Y'all know what y'all signed up for. We told you it was going to be irregular.
Full disclosure. Oh, yeah. It's very irregular. The most irregular thing happened when we met last to record is that we decided we just didn't want to.
Not because we don't love to.
Yeah. Not
it got late.
Don't, but we were just like,
chilling, bro.
Yeah. We're just, sometimes the vibes are too good. You just can't stop it to go record.
Can't stop vibing.
That's right. We were vibing with the White Claw.
Dude.
White Claw.
White Park.
White Carl.
White Carl.
White Claw. White Carl hard seltzer.
Yeah, we had a White Claw experience where we decided we bought a variety pack, which I think is 3 of each flavor.
Yeah, it's 4 flavors. We got 3 of each.
Yeah, and it wasn't terrible. I think we were both in the boat of it being a crazy idea. And then once you actually drink it, you realize it's all right.
I was pissed about how not awful it was.
Livid.
Yeah, I was like, this is some straight shit. Because I was like, the hype can't be... Because oftentimes when the hype is too good, the product is bad.
Yep.
And this was not an example of that because the product's actually not bad. The lime is bad.
Yeah. The lime is hot trash.
The lime is shit.
So if you like lime, you're a trash person.
Grapefruit here, and I'm gonna open it. This was not on purpose. I just didn't open it before we recorded like I like to, so I'm gonna open it now.
All that product placement.
Ruby grapefruit. So I'm gonna try this for the first time right now. We're gonna see.
Even said,
it's pretty good. It's pretty good. This is some straight shit. So now I like all of them except the lime. I haven't had the lime, but your reaction makes me not want it.
Yeah, it's like soap water.
Oh.
You ever had soap water?
No, I've never had soapy water. Not on purpose.
Before those White Claw, there was soap water.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, bad. I mean, it's only 100 calories. I mean, let me be honest, it's the total package of what they did. I think the only reason it didn't exist before is because it's a crazy idea to just put alcohol in water and sell it to people. But they made it work. So all natural ingredients. It's
water.
5%.
So speaking of soapy water, I've got a funny story for you. I wasn't present for this, but there is video of it. I'm not going to name names, but a long time ago, a friend of mine was trying to pass a drug test. And instead of doing it the normal way, which is by not doing drugs, he was doing it with there's some drink you're supposed to drink. They're supposed to help you like dilute your system or something where whatever the drug test for doesn't come up.
Yeah.
Right? And so he was drinking it. It was real gross. And so the friends he was with, he was like, water, like, he was like, water is gross. And so one of my other friends brought him a cup of water, and it was a bottle of water, and he drank from it, but it was soap water. And he did it on purpose. Like, the friend of mine, like, because the person's house they were at, their mom was, like, cleaning out bottle of water, like, soapy water, and, like, letting it soak in there.
Yeah.
And so then one of my friends grabbed that and gave it to him, and he's downing it because the flavor of this drink is awful.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, this is soapy water."
This is soapy water.
This is soap water.
That reminds me of a time in high school when some jocks were dipping in the back, and there was this one guy who kept bugging him and got getting on their nerves. And he was like, "Hey, man, I'm super thirsty. Can I get that? Can I get some of your sweet tea or whatever?"
Oh, no.
And the dudes were like, "You know what? Yeah, here you go." Hands in the volume, takes a swig.
That is messed up.
And then proceeds to die in the middle of class. And our history teacher was not happy. Not die. He didn't die. Sorry, that's a figure of speech. He just started. He's like, and obviously his response, because you expect. It's almost like you ever drinking one thing and then you start drinking something else.
Yeah, and it's not a bad.
Like, yeah, I was drinking milk and I take a sip and it's like, oh, I have. Yeah, you're not ready for it. Right. He was not ready for it.
Right.
So he made a scene because he drank dip spit.
That's awful.
That's disgusting.
Truly awful. Well, what else is new with you, man? What you been getting into lately?
I did the panel at DCon. DragonCon panel.
Get into the big time here,
dude. It was fun. I think the coolest part was walking outside. Well, the first part was walking in to go get set up for the panel. And they're like, "Oh no, sir, the line's around the corner." I'm like, "No,
please,
I'm a
bitch.
panelist."
I'm in the.
He's like, "Oh, you're in a panel. Oh, this way, sir." Like it was pretty funny. And then I actually walked to go see where the line was, and there were actually people there, like a lot of people.
What was the name of the panel? Like how, like when you look in like the program, like what is it?
Yeah, it was called Competitive Overwatch for Newbies.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's a good title. That brings so many people.
Dude, it did. It did. They gave us. We thought it was crazy because they gave us a 500-person room, right? And when we did the MomoCon panel, we had a 150-person room, right? Mm-hmm. And they're like, "No, you guys can have the 500-person room." We're like, we're not gonna fill that thing. What the fuck? No, we had about 450 people. We had like first 50 people through the door got like a giveaway and stuff like that. It was fun. It was a good time. They were interactive. A lot of questions. We went over, which is usually a good sign because we left 20 minutes for Q&A and we actually went over by like 5 minutes and had to get people out of there or whatever. But people enjoyed it. People waited for us afterwards to ask questions and continue discussions, hand out cards and stuff like that.
How many of you guys were on the panel?
It was technically 3 of us. So my buddy Andreas, who does a podcast called Omnic Labs, and I'll recap with some of our other friends in that Overwatch community, and then another guy who goes by Strider, who does coaching for amateurs.
Right.
So us 3, and then we had 2 handlers / hosts / moderators, who are both cosplayers / streamers of Overwatch. So yeah, it was exciting. It was a good time. And actually afterwards I got this high of like, I get panel high after I do them. Okay. I'm like, I just want to do another one. They're like, well, you got to wait a couple months.
That's cool. So like when you're doing the panel, they're like, when you're doing a panel like that, like do you guys give your credentials, like I guess at the beginning saying like, this is why what we're saying means anything at all? Yeah,
we introduce kind of, you set expectations, then you introduce yourself and why what you're saying matters towards that.
Right.
And then you just kind of go with it. You go with the flow. Usually we have an outline of what we want to hit, but the goal is kind of to keep it casual. And like that's what your moderators are for, to kind of pass it back and forth.
Oh, so you did have a moderator there?
Oh yeah, we have 2. Yeah, we had 2 moderators to kind of keep us so we didn't go over. We had a time. Just set up a timer. It's super casual because the people at the panel know they're at a panel, so you don't have to be like super clean and professional. It's supposed to be interactive, and you want them to get comfortable enough so that at the end when you do the Q&A, they'll actually get up and talk to you rather than just feeling like they've been talked to the whole time.
Definitely the subject of like competitive Overwatch is supposed to be fun. You know, it's like very hot right now because of all the teams that have been added to it. So you definitely don't want the panel about it for new people to be like very buttoned up and like, okay, this is like very boring. I'm just learning. You know, you want to have some kind of personality to it.
Like you tell them what terminology means. Yeah. You try to, because that's the whole point. You're trying to make them understand. Hey, you play casually a lot. Yeah. Maybe you want to go into competitive because a lot of these people don't. You know, they maybe haven't had access to competitive sports like we did growing up, right? Where there's something you learn and that grows you as a person from teamwork in a competitive environment. And when you have some access to something that's growing in the competitive space that you can do at all times, there's plenty of ways to kind of spin it. But yeah, so just convincing those people to give it a shot.
That's cool, man.
That's fun. Hopefully one day we do one for Toast Talk.
I would love to.
Dude, it
didn't work out the previous time, but I think it would be good. I think we might need to change it up because, like, to your point, like, shout out, like, the podcast is called The Bird Watchers, which is great, but you didn't do, like, the Toast Talk, like, because our panel was, like, about the podcast, like, you come to listen to the podcast, so I don't know, like, do you know, if you guys did a panel and it was like, come talk to the guys of Bird Watchers, do you think you would have gotten as many people, or do you think you got the alert because of the subject of competitive Overwatch for beginners?
Yeah, we definitely leaned on the growth of Overwatch and esports in this current time. So timing was everything kind of thing. Where there aren't that many. We're pretty much like the only Overwatch panel here at Dragon Con. I think there's like one more other one.
That
and then also one. I know, right?
Around for this long,
and also at MobileCon we were the only one.
That's crazy.
So that's how we had leverage.
Right.
But I think the live podcast, hey, we're gonna do an episode kind of thing and just hang out. That's also something we want to experiment with because there's a lot of bars that want to do that.
I think that would be fun for Toast
so
to do.
Maybe we can pitch that because MobileCon. I mean, they're probably already planning now, right? We can say, hey, would it be cool if we did a panel with just a live podcast of one of our episodes, send them all of our stuff, and see what they think.
I think that'd be cool.
And then if they reject it, we can see another angle. But it's fun, and you'll get a high from it because the crowds are usually more responsive than you think they would be.
Yeah, well, it's like when I did the open mic.
I forgot you've done comedy on stage.
Yeah, it was like you get like super nervous and you're like, oh, I don't really want to. And then like you sign up for it and then you're nervous the whole time and then you have like the experience is so great that it's literally like this could not have gone better if you do a good job the first time. If you bomb, it's like
because people want to be there, they want to be entertained, so they're kind of in your corner unless you push them out of that space.
Exactly.
The guy Strider, that was his first time. So myself and Andres have done one before. It was his first time, and I kind of talked to him beforehand, and he said like he has anxiety as well. He's like, I'm super nervous, whatever.
A couple drinks in you, man.
But the funny thing is, when he's not like anxious, he's like a ramble, like he rambles on, he's talking like a mile a minute.
Right.
So the fact that he was anxious actually helped because it put him in the normal range of talking speed. And he was amazing.
That's
like
good.
a lot of people came talking about coaching right after, and I was like, dude, you crushed it. And he's like, yeah, I'm fucking sweating right now. I was like, yeah, good. That's awesome. It's adrenaline, but yeah, all I had to say.
That's cool, man. I've been in my own life, not doing anything cool like with cons. I've been
being a father, not cool or anything.
Well, that's cool. It's cool. I'm continuing on with the vegetarian diet, trying to do.
How's that going?
It's going well, man. Honestly, for me, like the vegetarian part, like I just don't do it for
pescatarian, right?
I guess technically pescatarian, but I don't eat fish often enough to where because I feel like when you're a pescatarian. When you're like, I'm a pescatarian, like you are intentionally incorporating fish into your diet as your protein source. Yeah. But for me, like pescatarian's almost like the asterisk on vegetarian, where it's like I'm a vegetarian, but I'll allow myself to have fish.
If I see a fish crossing the street, I'll fuck that fish.
Yeah, I'll eat that shit. But it's been good. It's for me, it's not an ethical thing like, at all. It has nothing to do with like. I'm gonna sound bad, but like saving animals and like reduce. It's nothing. It's purely dietary. Because for me, like I like keto. I thought it was good when I did it for a couple of weeks, but to me, vegetarian is so much easier, and it just makes me like by default avoid so much crap that I normally eat. Because like for lunch, I think like the worst thing I've had has been like. Now I did have a little cheat meal with like a burger from Burger King, but it was an Impossible burger. I had to put the Impossible meat patties on their Bacon King, but then I took off the bacon, so it was basically a big ass burger. Yeah. But my regular day to day, the most unhealthy thing I have is like a PB&J, but I'll have it with like some vegetables or something. Yeah. Which I know there's a lot of sugar in your grape jelly and like your peanut butter is mostly fat. The bread is carbs, whatever. It's far and away less calories than I would have with like a burger and fries, which I probably would have if I wasn't bringing my own lunch. So it's been good. It's good. I don't feel as restricted as I do with some of the other diets I've tried before when I'm really trying to count my macros. I think
that's the goal is to not feel like you're in this new realm completely. It's like, no, I'm just managing a few things here and playing around with it.
Right. And you went as a first hand when I tried to do keto, and you and me and Kat went to Texas Roadhouse, and I couldn't have the bread. I was like in the worst mood. And you already get mood swings with being in keto. And so then I was just pissed because I was mad at the diet. And it's like, you can't be on a diet successfully and be mad at the diet. It's never, you're going to burn out so fast.
I remember, so I usually play around with certain eating habits to see, okay, does this fit into what I might do? And I remember I did the no bread thing for about a month and a half. Yeah. That was the first thing I noticed was I was pissed, not because of what I had to eat, but just figuring out what I could eat.
Right.
And like so many meals are bread based, and it's like, okay, well if I take this off and I take this out, well it's just the same meal as that other thing. I'll just have this over and over and over again. And I love leftovers, but to a point, your options just go out the window and it's whatever. And like you're supposed to have rice and technically it's a lot. But I get it. That makes sense. You don't want to be frustrated.
And that was the thing with keto too, is like keto is like it's great. I was just like it's money that I didn't have to spend on like you really got to meal prep or else if you're just going to you can go to fast food places and say like I want like a no carb burger. They'll give you like Burger King will give you a tray with the meat and cheese and bacon and stuff with like no buns. They'll give you pickles. They'll give you that. But after a while, it's like I've had like just meat and cheese for 5 days in a row. Yeah, this is kind of monotonous. And then the problem is, like, when you come off keto, you really got to go hard as fuck into something else, or else you're going to put all that weight back on. Like, I've seen that people, like, I'm going to stop like keto, I'm going to take some break off. Okay, well, that, because of the way keto works, because, like, the best way to lose, it's not as good, I don't want to get too much into it, but, like, the best way you can lose weight is just to eat. You burn more calories than you eat. I mean, that's just bottom line, right? Burn more calories than you take in. Keto, it does it a little faster because the energy your body's burning comes from the breakdown of the fat.
Yeah.
And so you lose weight really quickly. And that's the same thing with, like, the Atkins diet, with, like, low carb diets in general. You lose weight really fast.
Yeah.
But you put it on very fast afterwards. Like, for me, if I was like, I'm going to be in, like, a caloric deficit of, like, 500 calories for, like, the next 90 days. If I stop doing that, I'm going to gain weight eventually, but it's not going to be like, like, it's going to probably take 90 days almost for me to go back to where I was before. But with keto and those kind of diets where it's carbs you're cutting out completely, you put that on so much faster. And that's why you can't just say, I'm going to take a break. You got to take a break and immediately start. Because,
correct me if I'm wrong, it's essentially the process of almost like starving in a way where your body, like, if you were to starve, like, so you got stranded on an island, right? And you start starving and your body starts feeding on the fat in your body first, right? And then you get rescued and you start eating. You immediately, your body tries to stir all that because of what it's just gone through.
Exactly. Yeah. Because you're using, like, glycogen normally for energy, but without the sugar and without the carbs, your body doesn't have that, so it has to turn to something else, which is, it breaks down the fat and it makes ketones, and that's where you start burning a lot of the energy. So literally, like, the fat you're putting in, like, your body starts breaking down the fat in your body for those ketones.
Humans are wild, B.
Huh?
It's so interesting.
It's so interesting. But even so, you could be doing keto, and if you're not in a caloric deficit, you're never going to lose weight.
Yeah.
It's just bottom line. Like, you might feel better, you won't be as bloated maybe, but you're not going to, like, actually drop weight because you're... I mean, I know people who have gained weight on keto because they just didn't. Like, my sister and her husband, like, they did it, and they kind of went, like...
Two weird subjects, considering they've always been in shape.
Oh, they're in immaculate shape.
That's so
and they
weird
work out
that
and they eat well, but they were like, we're going to try it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. They can do those things.
Yeah.
It's not, they can be like, okay, we made a mistake.
Yeah.
Let's fix this real quick by
Oops,
our routine.
pooped myself.
But
all right, we're gonna go back to the way things were.
They went into keto and they were like, we're not losing any weight. We're actually kind of gaining weight. What's going on? It's because they were just eating a shit ton of food.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like, it's an easy mistake to make because the thing that's popular about certain diets like that is people do sell them to be just simple, like, just do this and you'll be fine. Like, no, it's not just that alone. Like, that process of eating is good, but you still got to watch your calories. You can't have, like, your protein too high. Like, your fat's got to be high too, because it's not just the low carb, it's the high fat. Like, it's a lot more complicated. I lost patience with it very quickly. Yeah. And so I went to a work conference where they had, like, this killer like, this buffet, like, food every day was amazing. Yeah. And I literally said, you know what?
Fuck this.
I'm done. That's what it was. They had, like, a sandwich bar put out and pizza, and I was like, fuck this. Like, I'm done with this.
We got this pork booty right here, baby, all sizzling up.
And I gained weight pretty quick. Yeah. I gained it back pretty quickly. But it's just one of those things, you know, you gotta be on something. But for me, like, being a vegetarian is oddly enough the most is like the least restrictive diet I've been on.
And then doing it with your wife, right? I guess you get to share that as well, so that also helps.
It so much easier. Yeah. Anything I'm doing, if I have to do something different from Kat, like if I go running or when I would go to the gym, but like not CrossFit, the gym, we're going like 5 days a week. Like, if she wasn't into it, I'm just there with her at the gym, and she's like in a bad mood or she's bored. And I'm like, no, like, I want to really be here and work out. And it's like, it's tough. But when you're doing stuff together, that's what I would say the key. If you're in a relationship and y'all need to lose some weight, which is most people in a relationship, let's be honest, get on, just do something together. Because you guys motivating each other is going to help so much more than if you're butting heads and you're leading a very different, like, health lifestyle.
I want to do keto. Well, I want to do Atkins.
Yeah.
Let's get a divorce.
Well, they're similar enough. That would be fine. They're similar enough. But if you were like, I want to do keto, and the person's like, I'm not gonna do keto, that's just worse because you're watching them eat all this bread. Fuck, man. So it's just one of those things, though. And I've been running more, trying to cut this.
Well, you already ran a lot. Like, that's never been a big problem, right? When I trained for half marathon,
I lost like so much weight, and it wasn't even, my diet wasn't even there. I was just burning so much so many calories per day.
Are you back? You're not back on that training regimen, though.
I'm not doing a half marathon, but like I ran.
Well, that training regimen, not to do it, but just, are you on? Is that what you're doing with your running now? That you're running more?
I'm not on like a specifically carved out like training regimen, but
just when you have time.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be consistent. Like, honestly, if I can just get out there and run 30 minutes like a few times a week, I'll be fine with it. I would like to do a shit ton like I did with half marathon because that was fun, and the eating, I wanted to eat better, but if I didn't, it didn't have that big of an impact on me.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing I just had to tell myself, I just gotta do something.
Yeah.
Like, if I can't go run, or if I can't do CrossFit, or I can't lift weights, I'd be like, well, I'm just not gonna do any of it. But then it's like, no, just go for a walk.
Yeah.
We talked about this the other day.
Yeah, let's not start here.
Yeah, we're gonna go into this whole thing. I know, I'm sorry.
We both have this rant.
We're like 18 minutes into this.
That's
whole
2 soapboxes.
Telling you. Anyways,
stacked on top of each other. Let's talk about some nerd shit, man. Yeah, what do you want to?
Let's talk about some nerd shit.
You want to start with some? All right. Let me talk about, since this will be the end of the journey that has been The Magicians, right? Well, this is it. I know it's been like 4 episodes. I think last time I talked about starting season 3. Well, I finished season 3 and season 4. You want to ask me how much I loved season 4?
How much did you love season 4?
I bought it.
I
bought season 4. So you know that standard structure where as it's airing, if you don't watch the first or the latest episodes are available, but the old ones aren't. Yeah. Which I don't really like that model. I can talk about that later.
Like Hulu or
yeah. And I was like, oh crap, it's almost done. I couldn't get the first 8 episodes. The next 8 were ready for me to watch, or something like the next 4 or whatever. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy it. And I looked at my like history of buying things for like seasons, and I can't remember the last time I bought a season of anything. Bought it and then watched it all immediately. And that show reminds me of The Good Place. And The Good Place is a recent comedy. I think it's ABC. I don't really know because I watched it secondhand.
Kat loves that show.
Yeah, it's so good. And the thing about that show that gets me is that the writing and how they end seasons and start seasons, you see the expertise and the skill in the way those shows do it, right? It's like you took something that you worked so hard on for a season, you completed that story, and you had to continue to the next season, and you did so by wrapping up that first one so perfectly, and then creating a whole new interactive or interesting scenario that's as fun as the previous, that uses some elements from that, and then continue the story so it doesn't feel ham-fisted or dragging, or just like stretching a series as much as you can. And season 4 had an ending that everybody's talking about that no one saw coming. Almost teared up.
What a twist! Oh yeah,
okay. Dude, it was. So yeah, my journey for The Magicians is technically over. I think the final season is going to be season 5, which I'm happy we're having these shows that aren't going for this 8-season thing anymore. I think that's dying off. Yeah. In both, Western and anime, people are starting to say, "Hey, we can tell package stories and then try to find the next thing rather than trying to milk everything to its core." Yeah, man, Magicians, I'm done. Watch it. Fuck.
I know.
I'm out the part where I said skip season 1. I think after watching season 2, 3, and 4, there's enough context throughout all that to give you what you get from season 1. Or if you have to know what happened in season 1, just go read the synopsis and then hop straight to season 2. Perfect. Don't deal with season 1 shenanigans. And I say that because I started The Expanse. I'm not going to go into that.
Right.
But The Expanse has the same issue where it has 3 seasons. And that first season was rough, got canceled for a bit, and got brought back by Amazon. Okay. And a lot of people were saying, hey, you can muddle through season 1 because they actually cut it short. So it's only like 7 episodes or something like that. So you can actually just blow through it. Magicians didn't do that. It's like 16 episodes, some stupid shit like that. Yeah. Just skip it if you can.
Okay. Yeah. Another show. So Kat and I started watching What We Do in the Shadows. We've only got through the first episode, but the movie is so damn funny.
The movie's so good.
And it's like just everyone's saying, like Jermaine Clement and Taika Waititi, they obviously the main producers of the series. Yeah. But
we gotta talk about the Mandalorian.
We do. Yeah, the movie's hilarious, but the series is pretty good. We're on the first episode. I
heard the cast is solid.
The cast is solid. It's not anyone really that I've seen. The only one that I've seen before is the guy who plays the emotion vampire or the energy vampire. He was in The Office. He played Nate, who was one of the. He was more of like a doofus. Yeah. Like warehouse worker. Do I know the other? Yeah, the other ones I don't recognize them from anything, but they're still very solid. Yeah. Because I think you don't have to have like big actors for it to be a good series. It's pretty solid. I enjoyed that. I've been meaning to start The Boys, which I know you finished that season. Yeah. And it's pretty much all around been kind of like a hit with everybody. Like I don't really haven't heard any negative feedback at all about it.
They do a great thing of doing. They go for the in the current event stuff, and they touch on those things. Right. And they do so through obviously the lens of these superheroes that behave as if they were superstars, like just asshole superstars. Right. But there's what I always tell people is like, the 3-episode rule, right? You watch the 3 episodes. If you don't like the show, stop it. Well, this is interesting because the first 3 episodes are good, but episode 4 is so amazing. Like if they were to win an award for an episode, it would be that one because that's where they say, okay, we've given you all this meat. Now here's the depth,
here's
right?
The potatoes.
Yeah, here's the potatoes. Dinner served. So, yeah, 4 has like, it introduces a character that's very important.
Right.
It has a lot of character depth. So it's like, okay, here's your 3 dimensions for all these characters that kind of one note up to this point. It gives you, it kind of branches everything off. It gives you the full amount of narrative branching you're going to have for the rest of the show as they bring it back together after that point. And then after that episode, we have a cameo. And I say cameo because I never thought this guy would act again. I couldn't imagine him in that role. And he does so good that I wish he was in more stuff. And I kind of wonder what he's been doing.
Who's that?
I'm not going to spoil it.
Oh, spoiler, okay.
So watch it because you'll see him and you'll be like, wait, what the fuck? He's alive?
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he does great.
Okay, yeah, I'll just check that out, man.
Yeah, The Boys, man. It's for a good start. It's short too, so they did the smart things. A lot of people complain. I think it's 7 episodes, 7 or 8, and people are like, it's so short for a season. Episodes aren't really fully an hour. A lot of them are like 44 minutes. But it's good because they pack so much shit into that.
Right.
And then it's like, if it would have been worse, you can make it through that because it's based on Garth Ennis, I think his name is. It's the guy who did
Garth Ennis?
Garth Ennis from Spaceballs.
Damn,
you remember it was the Darth? No, Garth Ennis. I'm gonna get this wrong. Either Irish or Scottish. He did the Punisher comics. He did. He did Preacher. The guy who did Preacher.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
like
and then
Preacher.
he did
That's
The
another
Boys.
show I wanna watch.
He did The Boys.
Okay.
So it's based off of that,
Yeah.
and where it picks up from this point forward, it gets really interesting.
Okay.
But yeah, man.
I'll have to check that out, man. So,
Zibai.
more in the movie news. We once had a pretty heated debate about
Everything.
the Spider-Man deal between Sony and Marvel. Once upon a time.
Oh,
We had a pretty
yeah.
heated one
That
about
was a good
where money
episode.
comes from. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So it seems now that none of that matters. Because the big thing is that, so obviously, like the news, it's not even news, like it's been kind of all around the webs, no pun intended, or was it?
Oh my God, you are scum. You
Sony and Marvel are not.
You are
striking
Venom himself.
They're not striking a deal up with Spider-Man. And my understanding of the fallout from it, I could be wrong, but my understanding of it is that Marvel wanted a cut of the box office too, and Sony was like, "No,
Yeah.
you said that
So
was
we
ours.
had a deal.
We had a deal." And
Yeah.
Marvel's like, "Yeah, I know, but
look how much money we
look
made.
at this, yeah." And so Sony's like, "No, we're taking it back." I think this is gonna be weird, man. So like personally for me, I've never seen this where two studios make a deal. They develop this amazing character, probably in my opinion the best version of him we've seen in a movie, and then the deal falls out, but he's still under contract with Sony to make movies.
It's weird.
So my thing is, we've had this amazing Spider-Man movie, several of them, and now Sony's gonna take it back. Is it gonna still be like the same thing, but just filled with the same shitty stuff that Sony had problems with their product placement, like villains are bad, like a lot of stuff.
Pepsi's bad.
Ugh, I'm concerned personally for me.
You should be.
But it's like, where does Spider-Man? Honestly, I think just Disney should just sack up and just buy Sony.
Yeah, where does Spider-Man and America begin?
Yeah, where do we? What's next for him?
Yeah, where do we go from here as a society?
What? Why are you saying that?
I was born at a very young age.
What?
I don't know.
What was happening?
I'm just being an asshole. But no. So, I kind of it's like businesses being businesses. That's all I see because you had this weird. I'm sure you remember the clause when they started this deal.
We're drinking the claws
That
right now.
the white claws, baby.
Claw life. Clawless.
Is there a term for like, dudes who like to hang out and drink White Claw? Do we have a name for our group?
We'll have to come up with one off air in case we come up with something
I-
backwards at first.
we gotta
We'll bring you all
workshop
the
it.
finished product. You don't get to see the prototype.
Don't show them the sausage. Yeah. So,
Sausage Boys, right? Oh no. Oh, never mind. Sorry.
no. So you remember where they were like that initial deal was if during the Marvel deal the Spider-Man movie didn't make $1 billion,
Right.
then they would they had an option to bump out of the contract or revise it more in their favor.
Right.
Well, it did, right? It made that money, and then it was like, okay, cool. So that was Sony's kind of assurance.
Right.
So the moment they made more than $1 billion and they started making a lot of fucking money, Marvel's like, oh, hey, asshole, guess what? Now we don't want 20%, and we want like something like, they were trying to go for like 50% of everything.
I would. I think the argument can be made for more than 50.
Yeah.
That deal's never going to be done.
Yeah, but you got to think, now you're in a point, it's weird, right, from the Sony aspect, because you're like, hey, we had a deal. Yeah, we were a little bit asshole about, hey, make sure you get make $1 billion, but you guys worked out. We were happy with the money we made off of that, but now you're essentially asking for us to make less money moving forward with the thing that's now successful, because if I'm a firm believer that if Enter the Spider-Verse wasn't so successful,
Uh-huh.
Sony would fold and be like, yeah, whatever you want.
Probably, because that would be a whole other medium that they also were bad at.
But because it worked out very well, they're like, hey, we can do this again, baby.
But here's my thing.
I'm clean. I'm sober now.
Here's
I my third coin.
But we all know movie studios, like the team that worked on Into the Spider-Verse is not the same team that's worked on the other Spider movies that were shit. So it's like, that's great, but there's a reason why that was good and this was bad. So this is what I think is going to happen. This is what I hope is going to happen. And apologize to any employees with Sony in advance, because it doesn't mean good things for your job. I think they're gonna take back SpiderMan, Pizza Parker, and they're gonna be like, we can make a shit ton of money off this. Let's put a shit ton of money into it.
Oh no!
And then it's not gonna make the same amount of money, even though it's probably going to Tom Holland, but maybe it doesn't. Yeah. And then they go under, or they have to be bought, or something like that. Something's gonna happen because Sony just can't do it.
Wait, who's gonna go under?
Sony.
I don't think
they're not gonna go under. But like that project,
Japan won't let them.
I can see them being like, we're putting way too much money into this like, license.
Yeah.
And we can't do anything with it. So let's just give it away. Let's just sell it for like, that's why I would sell it for a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. The whole thing is, especially after a movie where they just were like, all right, you're gonna take the helm of Iron Man, like you're an Avenger now. Blah, blah, blah.
The game as well. Sorry, the game and Enter the Spider-Verse. So the game did really well, and that was Sony based.
Yeah.
And that's because Sony bought Insomnia
and
then had to make it. It's like there's a lot of this thing where they've been. It's almost like you get your ass whooped right on the playground. You get your big brother and like, hey, help me beat this guy up. So your big brother beats him up, and then your big brother kind of trains you and teaches you and gets stronger and how to fight. And it's only been you've had a couple successful ones now. You're like, I don't need my big brother no more. Yeah, we got this. And it's like no. Like. That's probably a bad analogy. I don't know.
No, I get what you're saying. I'm just not clear on the role that Sony had in these movies outside of just letting them use it. No, what you said was right. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much Sony being like, we're going to work with Marvel, put out this movie. Marvel did all this to help Sony. And Sony was like, okay, we know what to do now. We're going to do it on our own. It's like, no, man, it's not the same. You don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't understand what's going to happen to you.
You don't live this life, man.
It's hard out here. The streets are so cold.
We used to not eat, bro. We used to not eat.
But that's what I'm saying. I just don't think it's going to go well for Sony. I hope it does because I love Spider-Man. But even after just, like, I cannot imagine a movie where Tom Hardy's Venom is in there with Spider-Man. It can't be good. It can't. Like, even Venom was bad, but it was still good. It was okay. Like, it wasn't the worst. It could have been bad. It could have been worse. But
it was a movie.
It was a movie. Truly it was. But I just think putting that in Spider-Man, I just don't see it being done well. It's like, Sony, just stop it. Stop.
It's the Japanese.
Cut this shit out. Just give them back. This is a bunch of crap, man. Y'all are trash over there.
That's the other part is, it's two different business structures. It's always been a struggle. You look at like Nintendo in the game industry,
right?
And how no matter how much success they see other consoles have with like internet,
right,
and online play and friends list, and how they can't get it right. They can't figure it out, and it's like, just ask for help.
Yeah.
They don't.
I don't know what you go for. But I mean, I guess whatever. Well, that deal's not done. The deal with the deal's done. There's no deal, so it's done.
So now they're trying to get another deal.
So I will say, I think they can still make a deal, personally.
It's weird, right? Somebody made a comment where essentially it seems like now that never has anybody really seen a situation where a contractual deal was so open to the public, where you essentially have both sides of the fence playing against each other to try to get them to sign the deal that favors the fans the most. And even the actors, like you saw the thing with Tom Holland and Robert Downey Jr. Figures, man. Like all this stuff.
He's dead now.
Yeah, in real life too. That was crazy. Was it worth the money? You got to ask yourself. But yeah, so it's like you have the public is now a part of this contract, and I don't know what that does for the situation, because maybe what if this was all a publicity stunt that they didn't need? That would be fucking wild. I would lose faith in humanity.
Does the companies being dickheads? Like, I don't understand.
Because the moment they say we've reached a deal, everybody's like, "Oh fuck yeah, I can't wait to watch the next one."
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Because the team's back together, baby.
Yeah.
Coke Classic.
So here's an example of something that's similar to this that's happened this week in sports.
Yeah.
So the Falcons.
Yeah.
Just very quickly, last season cut their kicker who was like the dude. Yeah. He was the Pro Bowl kicker, probably Hall of Fame kicker for the Falcons. Has like decided a lot of games for us and is kicking And the Falcons were like, yeah, we could go. Because during the season, he got hurt, like a hamstring thing. They brought in George Tavecchio, who made a couple good kicks. So they're like, oh, we're good. We don't need him. We want to free up cap space. Good on the Raiders. We want to free up cap space.
He's cheap.
To these other people. They went through the season. They're in the preseason now. They got George Tavecchio, ass. Yeah. They brought in Blair Walsh, who used to be good.
Oh, no.
Who's now ass.
The Georgia boy.
You know that?
I haven't been following.
Blair Walsh played for UGA.
Yep.
Did
played
really
for Vikings.
Well, came in the NFL.
Under Vikings.
Did pretty okay. Missed some significant kicks.
One that got my team to the next round of the playoffs.
Had a whole season where he didn't play. And the Falcons brought him in.
Death threats.
Someone commented it was like, why would we spend so much money on a kicker that misses field goals? We already have one of those, George Tavecchio. So then all of a sudden so the preseason's coming to an end. We got a kicker problem. It's like, the fuck. So all of a sudden this article comes out that Matt Bryant is coming in on Friday for a workout. And everyone in the comments is like, come on, man. We know what that means.
You know he pulled up in his truck.
You know
and his dog got out and he just acted like nothing happened because he's so down to earth.
He showed up in an Uber.
No.
But no, man,
hey, make sure you give me 5 stars.
But he showed
up.
We
practicing it all.
But then that's the thing, right? He signed a deal, 1-year contract for $3 million.
Okay.
So, I mean, he's that dude. I just can't.
He's
they didn't
solid.
really make any moves in the offseason that warranted having a bunch of free money.
Yeah.
Because my thing is, like, the Falcons could make some moves to free up a shit ton of money, but then we'd lose, like, Julio Jones. We'd lose Devontae Freeman. Like, there's a lot of money wrapped up in those two. But the kicker is just such a problem that's, like, really helped us out. Like, we've won games because of that.
Yeah. And the kickers aren't the reason we're losing games. So that's the other part.
That's what I'm saying. But the reason we're winning games, if that makes sense.
Exactly.
We've won a lot of games because of it. We really haven't lost any because Matt Bryant hasn't been up to snuff.
Yeah.
So they signed him back, but it's one of those things where they're like, we don't need you, and then they get the backup. But Matt Bryant's at home like, these fuckers, like, I'm gonna come back, and they get 2 kickers.
He's so cool. He's probably like, oh, no hard feelings. He's like, whatever, man.
I looked at his Instagram because first of all, if any of you haven't looked at Matt Bryant's Instagram, you need to, because if you didn't know anything about football, you would never know this man was a professional football player, because he doesn't post anything about the Falcons. It's just him at home with his kids and his dog. He's old as hell. He's bald with a mustache. He's just kind of gray. You would never know. And so I've never seen his teeth. Like, he doesn't smile with his teeth. He's just kind of the dad smile of like. So that's the thing. I looked at his Instagram to see if he's talking about it. Of course he's not. It's just I think it was a picture of him at some carnival with his kid or something.
At Dragon Con.
Yeah, it's some regular ass dude, man. But anyways, he's coming back, which is good. I just hope he doesn't blow out his hamstring as soon as he.
Dude. I feel you.
Comes back. But that's the example. But anyways, I guess we'll talk about the other stuff at D23, the other things they announced with Marvel Phase 4 and then Mandalorian.
Was that D23 or was that before that?
I think it was D23 is what they announced. It was only like a week ago.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. I was confused.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah, let's go through that.
So first of all, we'll just stick with the Marvel stuff.
So Eternals.
Yes.
That's the one. So they've recently shown the outfits. Mm-hmm. They're kind of like all of the same style, just different colors.
Yeah.
And they haven't released more. We know the whole cast. We know that Kit Harington and the other one from Game of Thrones are going to be in it in non-superhero roles.
Right.
And that's it. Eternals, I don't care. I don't.
I don't know much about them, to be
they're
honest.
trying to make us care, and it's going to have to. I think the movie's going to have to do the talking.
Oh, it will.
Because the source material is one of those. It's the type of source material where it's like, a comic. Like people respect them for existing, kind of thing, but the general public doesn't usually. It's kind of like that. Like, hey, here's some more information about the background of a lot of things we know in the Marvel universe, but it's not really important. But there's some kind of cool backstory about like amnesia and certain gods forgetting who they are and blah blah blah. So
it'll be fun. It'll be fine. It'll be one of those things where it's like the comics will be super popular afterwards and whatever.
Because it's supposed to be a movie, right? So I think the way it's explained to me and what I've seen, I kind of like this should have been a TV series, but whatever.
Speaking of TV series, so they talked a lot about the series that are going to be bringing to Disney Plus, which, by the way, I'm signing up for the day it comes out, like the moment it's coming out.
I think we made this call, like, no one's not going to get this.
Absolutely.
Unless you hate America.
Netflix and Hulu are in big trouble. Yeah. But Disney owns Hulu, so they're fine.
Well, yeah.
So Netflix is fine.
They just signed that deal. They own 66% of it now.
Yeah, so they're a majority owner. Yeah. So, they own Hulu pretty much. So we got a couple different series. We got Wanda Vision, which
name is still fucking terrible.
It's very well. Here's the thing. Here's why I don't mind the name, because the name is kind of like an old timey television set name.
Oh, okay.
And then the image looks like a 1960s house of like Vision and Wanda, but like in regular clothes. Vision looks like a human.
Okay.
but the shadow that's cast by the TV is the outline of like their comic accurate outfits.
Oh,
so
okay.
I don't know.
I haven't seen that art. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is like Scarlet Witch. Creating this like illusion because Vision's dead. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But then you also have Falcon and Winter Soldier, which should be good. You've got a Loki TV series, which should be good. Ms. Marvel.
Yeah.
Which is that a series or a movie? That's a television series, right?
Series.
I don't know. It could be either one.
I think it's a woman who's inspired by Captain Marvel and then has a similar accent that turns her into like gives her sort of powers or whatever. I don't know. I don't know much about her.
Yeah. So the other thing though that's interesting about this is typically with the new phases that are announced, it's a phase of movies. Mm-hmm. This is like the first time we've had a phase. It's like a mix. Of series and movies because they get. And I'm gonna forget. I'm gonna say the name wrong, so I'm not even gonna try.
Do it.
No. I can't. Okay. But there's a Marvel movie that's coming out with its focus on like this martial artist, not Iron Fist, it's an actual like Asian character.
Shang-Chi?
Yes. Yeah. So that's a movie that's coming out. That should be pretty good. Marvel's got some good stuff kicking up, but the big thing that came out of D23 is The Mandalorian.
Yes.
I've never seen a better looking trailer for a television series.
An episode.
It all looks like a movie. I've never seen quality so good for a TV show.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And the robot's Taika Waititi.
Is it?
Yeah.
Taika Waititi, I love it, man.
He's gonna play the robot.
I think that's gonna be very solid. Because I got a friend of mine who's not like huge into this kind of stuff, who sent this to me. It was like, this looks pretty good. And he likes the you know what I'm saying. He's like surface level stuff. I would say he's a big fan of, but for what I'm saying is you got other people who aren't deep into like Star Wars and Marvel and that kind of stuff, looking at some of this content and being like, damn, that looks good. I'm probably gonna get it. Because Disney also owns ESPN.
Yeah. And so it looks like they're handling it sort of like the Man Under the Mask type thing.
Yeah,
so you have that Master Chief Halo feel, or the Dark Tower series, or Vagrant, which is a book where the main character is not very vocal. He's usually wearing a mask of some sort, has his face covered, but he's doing cool shit throughout, and the characters around him are what makes it interesting.
Okay.
Until inevitably he says something or does something.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit,
he
took his helmet off.
Damn.
But yeah,
it's Helmet Man.
There was even a scene in.
Stupid. I don't know what. Anyways,
it's fucking amateur. It's Helmet Man.
That's what I call writing. That's good.
That's good stuff.
That's good.
Helmet Man season 1.
Can you imagine if a series or a movie did that? They take his helmet off. Holy shit! It's Helmet Man. Like, I'm leaving. I have to go home. I have to leave.
I can't watch this.
That'd be so funny.
They already got your money.
Made a movie called Helmet Man.
Helmet Man. All right.
It's like Cuphead.
Else? We had Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah, so it's gonna be Doctor Strange and and the Scarlet Witch, so Wanda.
Yeah.
Mironov or whatever.
So we're supposed to be getting multi-universe there.
It's supposed to be it's supposed to be the first
horror
Marvel horror movie.
Which the first one was supposed to be New Mutants, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah, but that to me is like, oh man, Venom was technically supposed to be like a horror movie, but that clearly didn't work out.
Shit.
Yeah,
they got me.
They didn't end up doing it. That was the original concept. It was supposed to be scary. That one flew over my head. But this is supposed to be like a scary movie, so I'm excited for that one for sure. But I'm just excited to see. I mean, obviously the big thing they're working on right now is going to be how to bring the
Thor
Fox.
4?
Huh?
Thor 4.
Thor 4, the fourth Thor.
And people were trying to figure out how to make a play on words, and it just doesn't work because you just said I'm saying 4, and you can't mix the two together.
It's like Fan Forstic.
Thor.
Fan Forstic. Yeah, it'd be like that. Thor.
The worst
Thor 4, the fourth Thor.
The fourth Thor. It has I don't know.
It's like Thor 2, the second Thor.
Yeah.
So dumb. But Taika Waititi wants to direct that too. I don't know if he's officially doing it, but
yeah, I think he's locked. Yeah, if he wants to do it, he can do it because the Akira stuff fell through. Okay. He's not doing Akira anymore, or he wants to still do it, but it's on hold.
Akira Battle Angel. I'm just kidding. It's Alita. Haha.
Alita. Speaking of that, they're now actually thinking about doing a sequel, even though it didn't make as much as they wanted it to. Just because the amount of attention it got for its visual prowess from not only just the standard consumer, but from the technical community has been huge. So they're almost like, we should probably do another one because the second one will probably make a lot of money if they do it. So
big ass eyes.
Better releasing too.
That one. So yeah,
it was a gorgeous movie. It was.
Oh sure. Yeah. There's a YouTube series that's come up recently that's about
Corridor or something.
Yeah, Corridor or something, and they've been like critiquing
Corridor Club or Crew. It's Corridor Crew.
It's something. I don't know. I don't think that's it.
Corridor Crew. It's Corridor Crew.
Okay, that's fine.
Corridor Crew. Sorry.
Corridor Crew. The Roger.
The Roger.
You watch 30 Rock? You ever watched that before?
I've seen episodes here and there.
one of them goes on a movie called The Rural Juror. So every time she says The Rural Juror, and like none of them know the name of the movie until it actually starts being made. And it's called. And they're like, oh, The Rural Juror. Yeah. It's like, yeah, that's what I'm saying this whole time.
She-Hulk?
She-Hulk is one, yeah. She-Hulk.
Single female lawyer having tons of sex. The Futurama reference for y'all out there.
That's so that's gonna be good. We've got another trailer for Star Wars, which I'm pretty excited about. You got the is Rey going to be bad?
Yeah, man.
I'm saying no. She will not be. This is a vision.
I fucking hate that about Star Wars.
So here's
because anything can happen. Is like, ooh, it
here's
might be
the theory.
Vision.
Are you ready for the theory? Here it comes. Theory alert.
I like how you try to take up as much space as you.
For anyone not watching in this room, which is only Ryan, I'm making my arms swinging around so everyone knows like this is about to be a theory.
Yeah.
So obviously, in the first trailer, you have Palpatine's laugh at the end.
Yeah.
Some would say that the feelings around it were palpable.
This is the first one?
The first one.
God damn it! You talking about the first trailer?
Yeah.
I thought
for
that
the
was.
New movie. At the end.
I thought that was I thought it was Hamill laughing. That was Palpatine?
Yeah, it's Palpatine.
But it sounded like Joker.
No, it's not.
Was he pitch hitting? Like was he?
No, it's him. It's the dude from he
I
came out and announced
it
at the Star Wars celebration. The guy that played Palpatine came out. And it's him. It's fine. So they were like, okay, is it a ghost? Yeah. So, but there's the wreckage of the Death Star that he died in in whatever. So they're fighting on it. So then this poster comes out, and it's Rey fighting Kylo Ren, and then it's just Palpatine's face in the background, which is awful. It's an awful poster. Why would you do that? Is he gonna be in it now? It's just first of all, there's so many different aspects of this trilogy.
It's so lazy.
If you could just be like, hey, by the way, Palpatine's in this one.
Yo,
so fucking stupid.
Cut the opacity back.
Yeah,
like do like 30%.
It's so
fade it out. Fade it back.
So, anyways, this is the theory.
What if they put him in the front? It's like they put him both fighting and they just put Palpatine laid over it.
So this is the theory. So in the first movie, in The Force Awakens, Kylo is talking to Darth Vader's very smushed helmet. And he's like, I'm going to finish what you started. And everyone's like, all right, you clearly don't know how this whole ended because he actually ended up being good. But that's fine. The theory is that Palpatine's spirit has been talking to Kylo, disguising himself as Darth Vader, telling him to do this shit.
Why do people like this stuff? Fucking hell, man.
So then I think the theory also is that we're going to see a lot of Force ghosts. We're going to see Obi-Wan.
Is this what we want?
We're going to see Han Solo. We're going to see Christian Hayden's Darth Vader.
Is this what y'all want? What the fuck?
This is what happens. Listen. This is what happens when you're a big-ass Star Wars nerd and they change anything and you shit your pants and boycott the movie. Is they say, all right, the last movie is going to be full-on fan service for an hour and 45 minutes. And they're like, this is what y'all asked for. This is what you want? I am excited for one. I think it sounds like it's going to be fun. Because I don't care that much. But I also like all the stuff that happened in The Last Jedi. Yeah. I was cool with all of that too.
Yeah.
I really didn't care.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing with like but the fact that people like shit their pants over.
I think people want the era to end. They want it to be over so we can start new.
And it's going to be over.
Yeah.
For like maybe 10 more years. And they're going to do it again. Let's be honest. Like we're in this age of people like, if it sells.
I probably got like 2 more years left in me before I'm off this earth.
You're going to miss it then, my friend. I'm sorry to tell you. Because my thing, we have a Mandalorian series. They're not done with Star Wars. They might just be done with this, but it's like the end of an era.
We have the Obi-Wan
They said this after Revenge of the Sith. Oh, it's the end of an era. They're making 3 more. They're going to make more of them. I'm just telling you. But I burped. We're going to see what happens. It all depends. If this ends and they're like, this couldn't have been a better ending. Like, this wraps up perfectly, then I think we're good. But if people are going to do what they're going to do, which is complain about something arbitrary, we're going to get more. And they're going to be like, why did they keep remaking my favorite movie of all time? Every damn 6 years, my parents are driving to the movies to see this shit. That's
grown-ass man.
Yes, that's what it is. But my thing is like, look, that's what you get. It's a movie where they're like, hey, Palpatine's in this movie. By the way, it was super obscure in the trailer. Yeah. But if you missed it the first time, which you clearly did, Ryan, there's no missing the second one because the poster has this big-ass face in the background.
Yeah.
Anyways. Very silly. But Mandalorian looks good.
Yeah,
so
man.
I'll say that.
I'm excited for everything. Like, Disney picked a good time, November.
Yeah.
I think they have a slate of stuff that's going to keep people occupied. Mm-hmm. They're doing great by having... They're going to have the content you want. They're going to have bingeable content, but also they're going to have weekly releases, which I think is fine because the whole thing with weekly release, your standard cable television format, was that there was a time spot. Yeah. So instead of saying, they're kind of meeting the middle ground. They're saying, okay, well, instead of it being released at this time every day, and if you miss it, then you're fucked, it's just going to be released on this day. So on Thursday, it's available to everybody. Like, that's different.
The whole series or just the episode?
The episode. So, like, hey, episode comes out every Thursday. So Thursday at 12 o'clock, probably PST, right? It will be available.
Uploaded, yeah.
And that's cool because then you don't have to worry about having to get home from work, cooking, and do everything, and sit down in front of the TV at 7:30 or you miss it, or commercials or anything like that. That's the part where they're cutting it. That's the part they're differentiating themselves from the other services. Because binging culture is cool. When it's all binging, I think a lot of people are starting to get fatigued from the Netflix because there's not enough content.
People are having stuff spoiled for them. Like, you go on Instagram and there's some major spoiler because some dickhead sat through 10 hours of content and decided to post it all over the internet. So someone spoiled for you now.
Do you think that should be legally curated?
Like, what do you mean? Spoilers?
Yeah, do you think, like, if you have an Instagram account, right? A series just comes out. And you watch it all right away, and you go on the internet and start blasting about it in a public forum.
So here's
I guess that goes against freedom of speech, right? Like, I think that's.
I don't think there should be any law preventing you from doing that. But Instagram obviously has features where if you're about to post something that the AI or whatever recognizes as something that might be an argument or an insult or like mean, you get a little pop up on Instagram, or I don't know if it's out yet, but something they're working on, not that says like, "Hey, are you sure you want to post this?"
Yeah.
Because, it might be, or, you might, be an argument or something. So I could see if it's like, if you can recognize you're about to post something about a new thing, it could say, hey, are you sure you want to post this? You might spoil it for something. I could see that. Yeah. But the thing is, like, people know that. Like, no one, I just feel like, I would really find it hard to buy that someone could watch an entire series first day and feel justified with posting a spoiler. Because, of course, you're going to sit in your hands and say, well, everyone else could have watched it too. Yeah, but everyone else didn't because they were at work or something and doing things with their lives except watching a whole series. Yeah. So
and that people feel like, I think, because you remember before when internet wasn't as, I don't say internet's not as popular, the social parts of internet. So when you had to go find a forum and actually participate when it wasn't so easy to get, there was a law that you didn't talk about things for at least a year. There was a year spoiler limit on the internet. And if you had to be tagged as spoilery, or you get banned from like IRC and these major chat services.
Well, see, that's different. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I'm fine. Like, if you have a group, because I'm part of a group on Facebook that's like very into this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And what they'll do is like the day before, like when Endgame came out, like the day before Endgame came out, they're like, all right, so no spoilers until this date.
Okay.
If you post anything, you're banned from the group.
Yeah. I was joking with the federal.
No, yeah. So I'm fine with that. And people can cry and they can moan. Yeah. I think it would be different if Facebook removed you and put you in Facebook jail for posting it. That would be one thing. Okay. But I think if you're in a group where there's admins, you've agreed to group rules, because at that point you're kind of entering into a social contract of sorts. I'm going to behave a certain way. If you're doing something that's clearly going to be contrary to how you should be acting with these people, like you wouldn't walk into, some people have, but you wouldn't walk into like a comic, like for example, Harry Potter, right? Mm-hmm. When Harry Potter, when the 7th book came out, right before it came out, so like fucking forever ago, somehow a list of all the characters that were going to die leaked online.
What asshole put that together?
Here's worse, right? That's you're kind of an asshole, but at least it was like, hey, here's a list of who's going to die. You can be like, oh, I'm not going to look.
Yeah.
Here's what's worse. Someone then took that list, went to a midnight release of the book, drove around the bookstore, and the lines lined up around the building, and filmed them reading aloud the page and who dies and how they die from that list. Going and spoiling for all these people that are waiting to buy the book.
Those people should be arrested.
That's fucked up.
I think that should be a crime.
I think you could. I think you
could. Should be.
The sword could make the excuse that they're they're civil. What's the word?
Disrupting business.
I mean it could
destruction of. It's slander. Well, it's not even slander. It's like
no, there's a word. It's when it's public misconduct, public.
Indecency, where they showing their penis as well.
Not that. Yeah, that's what no, but there's like when you're like drunk and being belligerent out in public.
Oh, public indecency.
Something like that.
I think you don't have to show. I don't think it says show your penis under that clause. I think it can be more than that.
There's an actual phrase.
Misconduct is just public misconduct.
Misconduct. So I think you can call the police and have that stop. But I think in a social network, but that's obviously such a big discussion about
that one's that's a little that's too much because
then you're going out of your way to. But that's someone who's not a fan of the book. Like you cannot be a fan of Harry Potter.
That's the part that makes it psychotic.
There, you saw that people, and people did that too. When I went and saw the Half-Blood Prince, when that came out in movies, spoiler alert for everyone.
Yeah.
Dumbledore dies in that book.
What?
Obviously. And if you've seen the movie, he dies. Some people didn't watch the Harry Potter books. Some of them didn't read the books. They only watched the movies. Yeah. So we were in the theater, and right before the movie started, someone yelled out, Dumbledore dies. They thought it was funny, but they're not considering the fact that not everyone in the theaters read that book. Because to me, I'm like, ooh, yeah. But I'm not saying anything. I'm there with friends that haven't read the book. I read it, and I'm like, I'm not going to say anything. I don't even hint like, yes, when Big dies. Dude, I just didn't say shit.
Happens a lot in the anime community as well.
Yeah, so my thing is like, it's like, people are going to be assholes. But I think, yeah, if you're in a forum, you're in a group, and you want to put rules on, like, hey, if you post anything spoilery before this date, you're banned. Yeah. That's one thing, so.
But, yeah, so it's kind of psychotic, right? Like, right. I don't know.
Are you asking me what just say what
just put your hand. What's our timestamp?
We're at 53 minutes.
Okay, I was like, because I'm trying to figure out like the next thing.
You ask me what time it is.
We can't show them the sausage, baby. The sausage. I know we're the sausage boys, but we can't show them the sausage.
They can just listen to it being made.
All podcasts are made. But no. So what do you think is that's this weird level of psychosis, right? Where you are not. So I would give them more credit if they were fans of the book, read who died, and was upset. So took the anger out in that form.
That's even more ridiculous.
I think that's the right amount of psychotic. Where if you have no connection to it,
I can understand it then. Yeah,
because then you're almost like you're throwing a tantrum.
You're trying to ruin
and other
it for
people are affected. You're ruining it for people.
You're ruining it for people.
For the people who aren't even fans, that's pure maliciousness. There's no personal gain.
Yeah.
Besides just sick tears of your foes, I guess.
But I guess that's what you get for being a fanatic and going out at midnight for a book.
How dare you how dare you read at night? Yeah.
The nerve.
I suffer from night blindness, and I take very offense. Very offense. Many offenses have been made.
Several offenses.
Several of them.
So that's my... But, nowadays, just get the audiobook.
Yeah.
It's not always
got
right day. Anyways, joke's on you. But yeah, that's the big thing I think is like spoilers for. But if Disney Plus is going to do a thing where it is available for everyone on the same day, whether you're home or you're not, you can come home and watch it. That you get the excitement of it's Thursday night.
Yeah.
Mandalorian comes out tonight. That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's how it was with Game of Thrones. Like everyone's like, it's Game of Thrones night. It's fucking Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm fucking hard for this shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's so
hard to have chainmail like laying.
Yeah, that's what I meant. So, anyways, you have that with the series.
Watching it in a full suit of armor
without it being ruined. But can you imagine like if the last season of Game of Thrones was released all at one time?
Oh, dude.
Because at least it was a slow burn for those people.
I know.
People were like, this is great. And they're like, wait a second, what's happening? And every week they would come in on Monday like, oh, this episode was awful. And I didn't watch it.
It's getting worse.
And I'm in a group of people that's like really not a positive thing to be. But if I don't like a show, I will say this is a bad show.
Yeah.
I've never really watched Game of Thrones. I watched a few episodes. It's not a bad show.
It's alright.
But I would tell people, that show sucks. I don't watch it. Game of Thrones, that show's trash. Walking Dead is trash. Like I would tell people that. And the thing is, I would be able to make arguments with them for why it's trash. And they'd be like, yeah, I kind of get what you're saying. It's like these poor, weak-minded people. But they would come in.
Fucking sheep.
And they'd be like, yeah, Game of Thrones, the new season starting tonight. I'm like, well, y'all have fun. That show sucks. And they would, but I was right this time.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I was doing my thing on Facebook. I was posting fake statuses. Like, wow, what a way to kick off a season. And I was not watching it. And the only people that knew I wasn't watching it was my family. They would comment and be like, why are you doing this?
Why are you doing this?
But then the one episode that I don't post them like that, I was going to post like, man, this episode wasn't as good as the rest, like as a joke. That episode ended up being bad.
Good.
I'm so mad I didn't stay up with it. But anyways, I'm ranting now about that.
No, but that's, it's so I think one thing to keep in mind, which we'll probably kind of end on this, is that we're witnessing something like amazing, historic, right? So Disney at the 6-month mark has broken the record for the amount of, I guess, gross
companies they own.
Well, that's one of them, because some weird stat is that they own something like 33% of all media, which is scary. But anyways, they're now the highest grossing studio annually for this year, and they were only at the 6-month mark when they broke that record, and they still have Disney Plus coming out.
Wow.
They still have the Star Wars movie. They still have this whole slate of stuff coming out that hasn't happened yet. And that is insane to me because we're not going to see this record broken for how many years, right? We'll probably won't even be around. That's
so here's the thing. Put this in perspective for you.
Okay.
Disney's on a roll. Disney Plus is about to come out. We're talking about all this content. We already are going to sign up for it without it being out, without us watching a minute of footage outside the trailers.
Yeah.
What did Netflix just do? What's the most recent change they made to their platform?
They upped the price again.
Upped the fucking price again with no change to anything. The last change that honestly Netflix made to their product that was like revolutionary was they allowed offline viewing. You could download episodes and watch it offline.
Yeah.
Other than that, the only change they've made have been that it's more expensive with no change in content, honestly. Because the big content, the big shows you're watching have been the same. Like it's Stranger Things is the big one. It's not anything new, really.
Which I still haven't watched it because I don't care.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And Stranger Things is great, but I mean, for you to be like a nerd and not even care about it, that's a problem for Netflix. So my thing is, you're raising the price, but you're not actually showing an improvement in what you're giving me. It's hard for me to buy that, especially with Disney Plus coming out.
$13 a month.
As the base rate, yeah.
Yeah. So for the HD, Ultra HD content, which most people now have HDR and 4K TVs and a lot of their content,
$15.99, right?
$15.99.
I paid $15.99. Yeah.
They've just put themselves in premium territory because one of the most premium services out there still when it comes to media is Audible. Mm-hmm. And that's been kind of a lot of discussions on the forums is like, why can't they get the price down for that audio space? Because people want to listen to audiobooks, but it's so expensive. And then you have to buy the books as well, right?
But books are cheaper often.
But often. But that being said, that price tier of $15 plus is considered premium. And Netflix has climbed to that place.
Without any change in what
they're doing. So it's kind of weird now that you have a competitor starting from scratch that's bundling everything they have up for $12.
Yep.
And that's $3 less than your premium service. It's going to be interesting.
They're going to dunked on, man. That's stuck. They might be changing it from FANG as Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. They might be replacing that N with a D.
Oh, I thought you were going to take the N out. I was like, well, no.
No, I've heard I think I heard a joke about what you would call it if you took the N out, and they were like, you'd have to rearrange the letters. You'd have to.
Gas. Maybe it's gas.
Gas. Gaff. But yeah, we'll see what happens, man. I mean, Disney Plus is like I said, already got people lining up at the door. Yeah. And Netflix is like, hey, thanks for being with us. Yeah. We need more money.
Please.
New content? No.
No,
just new content of what you've already been watching. Just new seasons of what you're already watching.
It's a scary business to run because you have a company that's still losing money. That's like their stock price. Like there's nothing to sell. Like if they had to, if Netflix went out of business, like they have nothing to liquidate. Right. It's just content.
Netflix just has so much content. It's almost like it's bloated. I don't watch everything that's on there.
No.
There's a lot that I'm like, I'm not going to touch that. There's like no interest for me.
Yeah, there was one show that popped up that I was like, oh, that looks interesting. I went over it and I was like, 4 seasons? When?
Yeah.
When did you do this?
And then the movies too aren't even like some of the movies are good, but some of them are just movies that Netflix bought and called Netflix original movies. And it's like it's a fad for a while. Like, are you rewatching Bird Box? Is anyone rewatching Bird Box?
I didn't watch it the first time I read the book.
I didn't watch any of it. I haven't watched it at all. I think I watched like bits and pieces, and I haven't watched it. But like my thing is like, are you going back and rewatching this crap? No. I don't think so. So that's my thing. Is it's we'll see what happens with Netflix. I could see the price going down a little bit.
They can't. They can't.
They're
financially in a position where they have to satisfy the shareholders.
Then they're fucked. I'm sorry. They need to put more content. They need to do something else.
Yeah,
they're losing. Fine. That's the thing. They're also losing their Disney platforms too. They're going to lose Endgame and all these Avengers movies that are on there.
Yeah.
So
they have a year to either start selling drugs. You know what they need to do? CBD oils. They need to start also selling CBD oil on the site.
I think they're going to have to make like a live streaming package. Yeah. Like Hulu has like Hulu TV or YouTube TV. I think Netflix.
Well, what's their package? They have nothing else.
What do you mean?
Like they have Netflix. Like they don't own anything else.
I mean,
what are they packaging?
Well, I mean,
you mean entering deals?
TV. Yeah,
entering deals
like live streaming for television.
Go back to that old God money.
Well, I think so. I think the cycle we're
gonna go back to cable.
I've said this before as a joke. We're going to get to a point where every channel has their own streaming platform.
Oh, my God.
And someone's going to be like, but wait, what if we had one product where you could watch all of these streaming platforms all in one and pay one price for all of them? And then we're back at cable. That's what it's going to be. I've said that before. I really thought it was going to happen.
The world ended in 2012, and I'll get you on that conspiracy train.
I saw that.
Are you already on that?
Was crazy.
Okay,
yeah.
dude. Did you also take a moment to search the internet for like how Skechers used to be spelled and how Looney Tunes is spelled?
I'm not too much into the Mandela effect thing. Okay. That's fine, but my thing, because memories are already so fucked as they are.
Should we stop now?
I'm gonna say one last thing about the 2012 thing.
Go ahead.
The 2012 thing is just what he's referencing is this conspiracy theory that the world actually ended and we're in a simulation now, pretty much, right? Yeah. Here's my thing: if I put out on the internet, the world's gonna end in 2012. Yeah. Do you really think I would have that up still? I would remove it, right? Let's say, for example, you on your blog had all these posts being like, 2012 is the end, get ready, we're all going to die.
Yeah.
You built your platform on that theory, and it turned out not to be true. Do you leave it up and let people find it and be like, look how wrong you were? I would delete it.
So but once you post anything on the internet, it's never gone. You know this, right?
Yeah, but
so
you can
there's a lot of automated servers that essentially keep track of. So there are sites you can go to see a site at a specific date that will give you that representation of it because it's backed up on a server somewhere. We can go into this later. Like I think this
fine,
is
but I don't know. Do you think that guy really did that, or do you think he went on Google and went?
I think there's a lot of different psychological things that are at play, as with that as well. I think people have pulled down stuff of importance that they posted before that.
Yeah, because it makes them look stupid.
Yeah, and it's harder to find, and then that makes the Mandela effect and a bunch of other stuff.
A lot of stuff he says interesting. I'm not discrediting all of it.
And people just like to believe, man. We just like to believe,
we just like to believe in something bigger than us.
I know,
if that means we're in a computer, then
what does it matter?
Who cares? The food's good. Gave us White Claw.
Tell us where they can find us, bro. Yeah. Go ahead and tell them where they can find us. Tell us where they can find us.
Sorry.
Please. Where can they find us?
No, we're going to record for 4 more hours. You're trapped here, I say.
In the simulation.
You can find us on SoundCloud.
Do you remember?
Yeah. Facebook.com/Toast Talk. We're on Twitter and Instagram at Toast Talk Pod.
Yeah.
You can listen to us anywhere that you stream your podcast. Yeah. Any podcast platform that you stream. Yeah. What I will say though is if you're using one, I've said this before, if you can't find us on there, you're probably on some obscure shit. No one cares. So you just get on something that everyone else is using because what you're using is probably not good, and we'll be on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I built my own solution.
Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts because that's what helps.
Oh yeah.
With reviews, that's
the
only
subscribe, thing. Follow, smash that button.
Smash subscribe.
Let your friends know. Tell people about it.
Tell your friends.
Tell bars you want us to come talk there.
Tell your friends that you're listening to a podcast where one of the hosts is a future owner of a few $1,000s when he sells his Moon Knight comic.
Oh yeah,
because Moon Knight. I told you I held out. I'm basically Warren Buffett. That's what I'm gonna tell people. Be like, Will, how did you know? It's like, listen, I just did. $5 investment turned into $5,000. That's a five. That's a.
If it really happens, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
Me too, because I have a lot of money. Not like relative to other things, but more than I had.
But dude, it's like, hey, I just read up.
Because it was such a joke for so long.
Where did you put it? Is it in like a cryo chamber?
It's in the thing over here.
Okay.
I think one of the corners is a little.
This 1997.
It's in its little slip though, but we'll see. Anyways, that's that.
Go get it graded. You need to get it graded. That's gonna cost you a couple bucks, dude. So you're deepening your investment.
What if they're like, wait a second, is this Moon Knight #1 the original print? Yeah.
Read it myself.
I'll take $1 million.
I'll settle for $1 million.
All right, that's it though. That's it. Goodbye, everyone. Love y'all as friends. Goodbye.
I'll see you.